To more, a hero. To all, a legend.
Oh, I got it!
You're an ogre.
When we talk about great animated movies, we always celebrate the heroes.
You did it!
We won! We won! We won!
The ones who save the day, the ones who get the parade at the end, the standing ovation. But DreamWorks figured out something most studios missed. The best heroes aren't perfect. They're not confident, not chosen, not even qualified half the time.
Thanks.
They're a mess, a walking, talking, deeply relatable mess. Barry B. Benson, B-Movie.
You like jazz?
First up, Barry B. Benson from B-Movie. Criminally underrated as a DreamWorks protagonist, and criminally underrated as a menace to society.
Where are you getting all the sweet stuff? Who's your supplier?
Barry graduates from college and immediately decides that life in the hive, doing the exact job bees literally exist to do, is beneath him. He wants more. He wants to be seen.
Adam, how could you say that? One job forever? That's an insane choice to have to make.
He leaves the hive, befriends a human, discovers that humans have been selling honey, and decides to sue the entire human race. Here's the thing, he wins. And the second he wins, flowers stop blooming, crops start dying, the entire global ecosystem begins to collapse, all because Barry needed to feel special.
Barry Benson is saying he intends to sue the human race for stealing our honey.
That is what makes him hit so hard. Barry's flaw isn't curiosity, it's ego dressed up as justice. He convinced himself he was fighting for a cause when he was really just fighting to matter, and he almost unraveled the natural world to prove a point. He fixes it.
I have another idea, and it's greater than all my previous great ideas combined.
Eventually. But Barry B. Benson is proof that the most dangerous kind of hero is the one who doesn't realize they're the problem.
I don't imagine you employ any bee freers, do you?
No.
Not every DreamWorks hero breaks the world through self-importance. Some do it through a con. RJ Over the Hedge.
Feared my amphibious friend? It is the gateway to the good life.
RJ from Over the Hedge is technically the main character. He is also, at the start of the movie, a straight-up liar.
So we scared her and she overreacted. No biggie.
No biggie.
He woke up a bear named Vincent, raided his entire winter food stash, ate it, and now has 1 week to replace everything or get killed. His solution? Find a family of naive woodland animals who just woke up from hibernation and use them to steal food from the suburb that appeared over their forest while they slept.
Hey, have the food.
How much food?
Loads of food. Heaps of food.
Now, here's where it gets messy. RJ isn't just lying, he's strategic about it. He studies the animals, figures out their weaknesses, uses the father figure energy of Vernie, the turtle, against him to manufacture loyalty. He is running a full con, professionally.
Just get the food. Feed the bear.
The film works because RJ is genuinely charming while being genuinely selfish. He gets these animals into dangerous situations, nearly gets them captured, and keeps lying even when honesty would have been kinder.
Believe me, you should not be jealous of me.
And honestly, his redemption arc hits because it's earned. He had to almost lose the family he was using before he chose them over the debt. That's it. That was the reason. RJ works as a hero because he starts as the villain of his own story and has to become something different. Not because anyone told him to, but because he finally let himself care.
Is that my bag?
Yeah, we brought it in here so you wouldn't have to sleep up in that old tree.
Not many protagonists can claim that. RJ hid his flaws behind charm, but the next hero didn't bother hiding anything. He put his flaws center stage, literally. Alex, Madagascar movie. Alex the Lion from Madagascar is one of the most self-absorbed protagonists DreamWorks ever wrote, and the film is completely aware of it. That's the whole point. Alex is the star of the Central Park Zoo, his own billboard, his own fans, his own name in lights.
I mean, just really, I mean, I tell you, it just doesn't get any better than this, you know?
He doesn't see the zoo as a cage, he sees it as a stage.
Marty.
You ticked off the people. You bit the hand, Marty. You bit the hand.
When the animals get shipped to Madagascar, Alex's immediate crisis is that nobody knows who he is there. No fans, no performance, no applause, just jungle.
I
Hey there!
And worse, he's a predator. When he gets hungry enough, he starts seeing his friends as food. The instinct the zoo always suppressed, where steaks arrived on schedule, finally surfaces, and Alex starts losing himself. Here's the thing, the zoo didn't make Alex strong. It made him dependent. He had everything handed to him.
No, I'm not. Yes, you are.
And Madagascar is the first time anything was ever actually required of him. The celebrity flaw runs deep. Alex spends most of the movie trying to get back to an audience instead of dealing with what's right in front of him.
Thanks for not giving up on me, Marty.
But by the end, he protects Marty, not for applause, just because it's right. That shift, from performing hero to actual hero, is the whole character, and DreamWorks earns it by making the fall from celebrity genuinely uncomfortable to watch.
This is better than steak. I love it. I love it.
If you're enjoying this breakdown of what makes DreamWorks heroes so brilliantly broken, hit that subscribe button. Thanks, Alex had to unlearn fame to become real, but the next hero had a bigger identity problem. He wasn't pretending to be someone he wasn't. He'd spent his entire life being told exactly who he was, and it was the villain. Megamind.
You're just giving up?
I'm the bad guy.
Let's be clear, Megamind is the villain. That's not analysis, that is the premise of the movie.
You call this predictable?
You're alligators, yes.
He spent his entire life in that role. School, city, universe. Everywhere he went, Metro Man was the hero and Megamind was the threat. So he leaned in, built the gadgets, wrote the speeches, kidnapped Roxanne Ritchie so many times they had a full routine. And then he wins.
I did it! He did it! I did it! Atrocity is back!
Metro Man fakes his death and suddenly Megamind has no one to fight. No purpose, no identity. Here's the thing, Megamind doesn't know who he is without a villain role to define himself against.
Accomplished anything.
Not yet, minion. Not.
He creates Titan specifically because he needs a hero. And that plan falls apart in the most spectacular way possible. His flaw is that he had the intelligence, the creativity, the tools to be extraordinary his entire life.
You come and get me. That's why I created you.
Yeah, right.
He just spent it all playing a role he was assigned rather than one he chose. He doesn't become a hero because he suddenly changes overnight. He becomes one because he runs out of options and realizes he's the only one left who can stop what he accidentally started.
Do you really think that I would ever be with you?
That is what makes Megamind hit. He doesn't transform into a good person. He was always capable of being one. He just needed the old identity to burn completely before he was willing to step into a new one. Megamind found heroism by accident after losing the only identity he'd ever known.
Being good has its perks.
But the next hero had the complete opposite problem. He had 9 lives and didn't value a single one of them. Puss in Boots, The Last Wish.
Fear me.
Puss in Boots spent most of his life as one of the most confident characters DreamWorks ever made. Swashbuckling legend, lover of adventure, zero respect for consequences. He also burned through 8 of his 9 lives like they were nothing.
Thanks for everything, but I am feeling great. Strong like a bull.
Falls, fights, reckless stunts, each one treated like a punchline, because Puss in Boots doesn't die. That's just who he is. And then death shows up, not as a metaphor, as a wolf with 2 sickles, and a whistle that makes your spine go cold.
Because Puss in Boots laughs in the face of death.
Now, here's where it gets messy. Puss's flaw isn't bravery, it's arrogance. He had been the hero so long, he stopped understanding that being alive actually meant something. He never cherished his lives because he never had to. The moment that Wolf steps into the tavern, unhurried, unbothered, completely certain.
Up.
Puss does something he has never done before in his life. He runs. And honestly, that scene is one of the most honest things DreamWorks has ever put on screen. Because Puss in Boots, the undefeatable, the legendary, is terrified. Not just of the wolf, of the fact that this time there is no way out.
Puss in Boots, make the way! Go ahead, run!
Fire.
His arc isn't about getting brave again. It's about understanding why it's worth being brave for. That is what the last wish does to him. It doesn't take away the legend, it gives him a reason to deserve it.
Live your life, Puss in Boots.
Puss had to learn to value a life he was about to lose, but the next hero couldn't even get started. He had the destiny. He had the world telling him who to be. He just couldn't believe any of it. Po, Kung Fu Panda.
There is no charge for awesomeness or attractiveness.
Po is a giant panda who works in a noodle shop, fanboys the Furious Five from a safe distance, and has zero business becoming the Dragon Warrior. And Po knows it. That's the flaw. Not just a lack of discipline, though it runs deep. Not just self-doubt, though it defines nearly every interaction in the first act. It's that Po genuinely cannot believe the universe made the right call choosing him. He spends most of the movie waiting for someone to catch the error and fix it.
Has brought us the Dragon Warrior.
What?
Master Oogway names him Dragon Warrior, and Po's first instinct is to flee through fireworks, because he cannot close the gap between who the scroll says he is and who he sees in the mirror.
It's blank.
What?
Now, here's where it gets messy. Po's self-doubt isn't just a personality quirk, it's a defense mechanism. If you never believe you're worthy, you never have to risk being wrong. Staying small feels safe. What breaks it open isn't a speech, it's shifu.
I'm hungry.
Good. When you have been trained, you may eat.
Unable to teach Po the traditional way, figuring out that Po becomes completely present when food is involved, and training him through that. And honestly, that moment is the whole film, because it's not about kung fu, it's about Po finally believing there is a version of himself worth developing. His flaw doesn't disappear by the final fight, he just fights anyway. That is the whole point of Po. You don't have to feel ready, you just have to show up. Po fought his own mind to earn the title, but the next hero never wanted a title. He just wanted to stop being invisible in the world he was born into. Shrek.
Ogres are like onions.
Shrek is the most relatable DreamWorks protagonist, and he's relatable for all the wrong reasons. He is insecure, he is selfish, he pushes people away before they get close enough to leave on their own, and he has wrapped all of that inside a performance of not caring, which is exactly what someone who cares too much does.
Why don't you go celebrate your freedom with your own friends?
The swamp isn't just a home, it's a fortress. Shrek built it so the world would stop getting close enough to hurt him. That sign on the door isn't a gag, it's a boundary.
A big, stupid, ugly ogre.
Here's the thing, Shrek's insecurity is the real villain in the first film. Farquaad is just the plot. Shrek's inability to believe anyone could genuinely want him around. That is the actual problem. His selfishness is almost surgical.
You won the honor of embarking on a great and noble quest. Quest? I'm already on a quest. A quest to get my swamp back.
He agrees to rescue Fiona only to get his swamp back. No altruism, no instinct to help, just a transaction with a clear exit. But Donkey stays anyway. Fiona stays anyway. And Shrek doesn't know what to do with that.
Princess and ugly don't go together. That's why I can't stay here with Shrek.
The scene where he overhears Fiona and immediately assumes the worst, and instead of asking, because asking would mean admitting he cares, shuts down completely and makes it about the swamp. That is the most Shrek moment in the entire film. That is what broke him. Not a villain, not a curse.
Now, I don't mean to brag, but I make a mean weed rat stew.
Just a simple act of being too afraid to be known by someone who might have actually stayed. Shrek pushed the world away before it could reject him. But the next hero was rejected before he ever got the chance to push back. He was born into a world that already decided what he was worth. Hiccup. How to Train Your Dragon.
No thanks, I'm good.
Hiccup. Haddock is the least Viking who ever lived, and Berk is a Viking island. He is small, thin. He can't lift most weapons in the arena without hurting himself. He's better at engineering than combat, which in Berk's culture means he's about as useful as a blunt axe.
Oh my, it's working!
His flaw isn't ego or laziness, it's that he was born into a world that had no language for what he was and spent years shrinking himself trying to speak theirs.
Train hard. I'll be back.
Stoic the Vast, his father, is everything Burke wants in a chief. Enormous, fearless, legendary. Hiccup is everything Burke isn't, and Hiccup spends the entire first act trying to fix that the only way he knows how. He tries to kill a dragon, not because he hates dragons, because he thinks killing one will finally make his father see him. Now, here's where it gets messy. He catches Toothless, the most dangerous dragon alive, and he can't do it. He looks Toothless in the eye and sees exactly what he's been feeling his whole life. Fear, trapped, just trying to survive in a world that wants something completely different from you. He frees him instead. And that choice, the wrong choice by Burke's logic, ends up being the one that saves everyone.
I'm sorry. For everything.
That is what How to Train Your Dragon is actually about. Not dragons, not war. Just a boy deciding his way of seeing the world has value, even when the world around him spent years saying otherwise.
Alright, Toothless, go. Get out of here. Oh, no, please, just don't hurt him. Please don't hurt him.
Hiccup changed everything by refusing to be what everyone expected. But the last hero on this list had the hardest choice of all. Not whether to fight, but whether to accept who he was born to be. Moses, the Prince of Egypt. Moses from the Prince of Egypt might be DreamWorks' most complex hero, and his flaw is the most human in the studio's entire catalog. He runs,
Single-handedly, you will manage to bring the greatest kingdom on earth to ruin.
Moses grows up in the palace of Egypt, raised as a prince, loved as a brother by Ramesses, given everything a life could offer, power, status, belonging, and then the truth arrives.
Who you are, and you are not a prince of Egypt.
Miriam, what did you say?
Must believe.
That's enough.
You were born of my mother, Yocheved.
Stop it.
You are our brother.
He was born Hebrew. His people are enslaved. Every memory he has, every friendship, every piece of who he believes himself to be was built on something that doesn't belong to him. Here's the thing, Moses doesn't rise immediately. He disappears. He leaves Egypt, leaves Ramesses, leaves the life entirely, and vanishes into the desert for years. That's not cowardice exactly. That's a man whose entire reality just fell through the floor.
You've chosen the wrong messenger. How can I even speak to these people?
When God speaks through the burning bush, Moses' first response isn't, "I'll do it." It's, "Why me?" That question is the flaw. That is what has to break. Moses doesn't doubt the mission. He doubts himself. He doesn't believe he carries the authority or the strength to walk back into the most powerful empire on earth and demand freedom for a people who don't even know him yet. But he goes anyway.
Ramesses. Moses?
And honestly, that's what makes Moses quietly one of the most powerful protagonists DreamWorks ever made. He isn't brave. He is terrified and goes anyway. He isn't certain. He is shaking and keeps moving.
My people. And I can no longer hide in the desert while they suffer.
The confrontations with Ramesses, his brother, the person who once knew him completely, are devastating because Moses is still grieving. He isn't just asking Pharaoh for freedom. He is asking the person he loves most to choose differently. And when Ramesses can't, Moses stays anyway.
All I've ever known to be true is a lie.
That is what made him into something greater than a prince or a shepherd. Not certainty, not power, just the willingness to keep going when every reason to stop was standing right in front of him. That is what makes him hit so hard.
But there is one thing he cannot take away from you. Your faith.
DreamWorks. Heroes prove that the most compelling protagonists aren't the ones who have it all figured out. They're the ones falling apart in ways we recognize. The ego, the self-doubt, the insecurity, the running, and choosing to keep going anyway. Which DreamWorks hero do you think had the most justifiable flaw? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and watch the next video shown on screen.